What's up, my beautiful besties? Welcome back to Turning Tides Tarot. My name is Alicia. Thank you all so much for being here with me on the Almost Daily, y'all. You're freaking the best. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome into all of our new tribe members, everyone who's been joining us over at the Buy Me a Coffee Good Vibe Tribe. Y'all, thank you, thank you, thank you for all of your support. I almost didn't bring the sound bowl. Okay, let me get into that and then we'll get into your reading. Hopefully there's a message here for you. It is my intention that this reading will find those of you who need to hear it. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm calling on Spirit with so much love and so much gratitude. I ask for divine guidance as I interpret these messages. May they help us all on our journey towards our highest and greatest good. I'm asking for love, joy, peace, abundance, and protection for myself, for you, and for all beings on the planet at this time. Thank you so much, Spirit. Okay, let's get into your overall vibe. Your overall vibe, love. And you know what, while we're shuffling, I just want to do a reminder because I always forget. I have been trying to post some regular quality tarot related content to my Instagram, my Facebook page, and also to TikTok. And I got a funny story. If you want to hang out for later on in the reading, I'll let you know what's going on over there. Something hilarious happened to me over the weekend. So, but I'm going to get into your reading first. But anyways, join me over there, folks, because I've got some good stuff coming down the line, especially if you're trying to learn how to do tarot readings. Okay, so overall energy, we have the darkness. You know what? This is giving that eclipse energy. A lot of y'all have been coming out after a period of time, perhaps of doing maybe some shadow work or some deep healing. And it just is what it is. I feel like y'all are coming out of that energy. In the Northern Hemisphere, y'all, we're in the springtime vibe. So coming off that winter season and coming into spring, things are shifting and changing. I just saw 222 as I'm doing this reading. And interestingly enough, the number 22 is the first energy out in your read. So we have gaining wisdom. Of course, when we do that deep introspection type work, when we're working in the darkness, working with the shadow, we do, of course, we gain a lot of wisdom about who we are, what we're here to do, all of those wonderful things. We learn our lessons. We also have extremes here, which I kind of don't know what that's all about. It's a hot moon energy, extremes. Okay. Some of you may feel some passions bubbling up to the surface. It doesn't always have to do with romance, just passion in general, for projects, goals, things of that nature as well. Extreme energy. But then we have surrender and resistance, and it's like these are two opposing vibes. What is going on with the energy today? Because I get a couple things with resistance, but surrender, of course, is pretty straightforward. Surrendering to your path, surrendering to the divine purpose of your life, letting things go, allowing things to flow, it's more of like an attraction type of an energy where you're not necessarily trying to push and resist or push for something, but then that's the surrender, but then we have the resistance. So it's kind of funny. Whenever I see this, I do get a couple messages from it. First of all, I always hear whatever we resist persists, and that is more in line with the message of surrendering to the natural flow, the natural order, the way things are going to go here. But then we also have something that you have been fighting for, pushing for, resistance, reminding me of any kind of activism or standing up and fighting for something. And then we have this fist, right, raised up in the air, human rights, social rights, things like that. It always gives that energy for me, activism, environmental rights. And then we animal rights too, if that's something that you focus on, right? But here we have the greenery growing out of this person's fist, and it's like it gives that energy of like, fighting really hard to get something, fighting really hard, standing up for something. It's like those trees that grow out of a crack or out of impossible situations. So it's kind of interesting because, like I said, we're getting like a lot of this energy just like in opposition to one another. So we have wisdom and then the extreme energy. So we're wise, but but we're passionate, we're surrendering, but we're fighting for something, and we're coming out of this darkness energy. Perhaps the fighting and the struggle is coming out of any kind of fears or breaking free, from a heavier energy. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Okay, so let's just see what the tarot has to say for the day. Which deck am I using? I'm going to use the Light Seers deck today. I've been liking it a lot lately. I go into, I don't know, let me know if you're a reader. I kind of have like phases with decks, like I really like one, for a week or two, and then, pick up another deck and stick with that for a while. But let's see. What is the incoming energy? I want to figure this out a little bit more with y'all, okay? What is the incoming energy? What is the incoming? Why are we here? Kind of a vibe, right? Why are we here? What are we coming off of? Ooh, Six of Cups. Okay. Six of Cups. And, it's so many things. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull the energy before I start to interpret, because I'm going to split the deck and do it that way. The Fool. Okay, split the deck, Alishia. All right. Wow, really powerful energy today. We've got a lot of cycles going on. Okay, so we have the Wheel of Fortune overlooking this whole thing. What I noticed right away, without even going into the positions and what these energies are talking about for the day, we have the endings and new beginnings with the World of the Fool. That is very important. This tells me that you have gained quite a bit of wisdom so far along your path. You now know so much about yourself, okay? And whatever this journey has been for you, it has really elevated you. You have really been upgraded. Perhaps you're not just like your wisdom and the things that you understand in life and about love and about relationships and just about everything, right? About who you are and how you show up and your purpose. You really have evolved. Okay, you really have evolved, and you know what you want. Okay, you know what you're worth, you know your value, you know where you need to be going. Okay, there's something here about leveling up. Okay, some of you may have just gotten out of some type of perhaps karmic situation, and you are in this mode where you're like starting at something new, okay, but on a higher level, especially with this spiral staircase energy as we go around. Okay, and that's kind of like what the meaning of the Fool and the World is in the tarot, is that the journey and the learning is really never done. We just kind of level up, right? And I just heard new levels, new devils. Oh my gosh, you're starting you're just elevated. You're in your elevated energy at the moment. Okay, it's very strong, it's very beautiful. What I see, okay, for the past, why you're here, I feel like you may have been connected. Some of you, this could have to do with a soulmate in the past. Okay, we have the Emperor and the Six of Cups. For me, that screams for some of you, soulmate, twin flame, a very important soul connection that has really been the driving force for this path of wisdom and maybe even this darkness. Okay, I gotta be honest, sometimes we have these deep soul connections with people that trigger us into some dark night of the soul or some shadow work and things of that nature. Okay, I'm not going to focus too much on that because it is energy of the past. This is why we're here. This is why you're at this new beginning. This is how come you have leveled up and you're finding yourself ready for something fresh, something new. And that is the overall vibe for today with the Fool. So we're just like on to the next with the Fool energy. We're really excited about the path that lies in front of us. A lot of y'all, especially with the eclipse energy, have been seeing certain things, certain people, situations being eclipsed out of your world. And some of you have been doing some very conscious work with your own discernment in maybe even like cutting people or places or things or behaviors out of your life, right? So you're on a new journey. You're really excited about it, but let's get to the challenges. You've gained wisdom. You've overcome. You've learned lessons, right? You've done a lot. And it is like, okay, now I'm at this restart moment to reboot. But the challenge coming up today is the Ace of Swords. So there's something here that you aren't seeing very clearly, or you don't feel like you have the complete truth, or you don't feel like you perhaps can see exactly what your next step is. And it's kind of interesting because when we have the Fool, usually the Fool is in this carefree mode, right? And they're walking off a cliff in almost every deck, right? Or at the edge of the cliff, at the edge of something new, because that's the potential of the 0 of the 4, right? Of the Fool. Is the potential, right? There's so much potential. It's the beginning of creation. It's the beginning of something new, right? So we're taking a risk, we're diving in, but we don't know exactly where we're going to land, right? So it makes sense that you maybe don't have too much clarity about, what comes next or what challenges might lie in wait for you as you dive into something completely new. But here we have surrender. And I feel like this could be the extreme, right? I don't know why I just heard skydiving. If someone over here is like wanting to try skydiving or like bungee jumping or something that actually has to do with like is it paragliding? Something like that, where you're actually purposefully going over the edge of a cliff or something like that. I just heard that when I was tuning into the extreme energy. Some of you are wanting to shake things up, right? And in a very extreme way, but it comes from this drive for change, okay? It comes from this passion for this new beginning, this new start, wiping the slate clean, right? Even though we may not know exactly what's going to lie next for us in wait on this journey, we are stoked for it, okay? That's the vibe. And here with surrender, it makes sense to me now because it's like, that is kind of like some advice here for you. The way it's lining up is surrender, the Ace of Swords here, and then, ending with the Six of Wands. And of course, the Six of Wands does depict success, overcoming challenges, okay? But with the surrender vibe and the wisdom and everything here, it's like better. You've learned, what it feels like to take a risk, to start something new, to not know if it's going to work or if it's going to, imagine like bungee jumping for the first time, right? You're excited, you want to do it, you're getting ready, you're up there, you're at the cliff, you're strapped in, you're hoping that you're strapped in correctly. You have faith that you're going to bounce back up because you've seen other people, or maybe you've done this before, but every time is still a risk. So, you still kind of go, oh, you get a little bit of that fear coming up, right? It's like, oh shit, like at least I know I'd be shaken on. In my older age, like, I'm pushing 40, but when I was a kid, I wasn't afraid of heights, but now you put me up a ladder and I'm like, I get a little bit wobbly and feeling like, ooh, I like to be grounded these days. But yeah, it was never a thing before. I don't know why I'm getting that. You're pushing. It still doesn't stop me from like climbing a mountain or doing other things like that. I'm just saying, the fear is there, but you are facing it. Okay. So you're facing it because you're wise enough to know that there's the 99% chance probability that you will be bouncing back up. Okay. So whatever this new thing is, you do realize, first of all, you feel connected to it greatly with the Wheel of Fortune. You feel like I should be here. I'm at the right place, the right time. It's my time to do this. It feels right. I feel called to, I am supported, all those things, but you're surrendering because you've learned before that, you make the leap, you take the risk, you have the faith, and you're okay in the end, right? That's the kind of vibe, right? And it's actually, it's just reminding me a little bit of like, even where I'm at, I can totally relate to this. I can totally relate to this reading. Hold on. Anyway, not to make it about me or anything, but I am in the works. There's something here in the works that would be of great personal and maybe even a little financial risk to me if I go forward. But again, it's a situation that's kind of coming back around for me in my life, and I can't wait to share it with you what it is, because I will when the time comes. It's still kind of up in the air, and I'm in this surrender mode. So, and I'm also at the same time fighting for it. So I guess it makes total sense to me why this energy comes up, and it's here for our collective because, you know, like attracts like. So you're probably going through something very similar in your life right now where you're like, okay, I know this is going to work, but I'm still a little bit, oh my gosh, it's a big jump, you know. I hope it works. Like, but again, like I said, you've kind of been there, done that, and you've learned that you're going to be okay. Now, for how you're going to feel, it's interesting here for how you'll feel about it is we have the Four of Cups. So some of you could be feeling like a little bit focused. You know how you feel. Some of you are a little bit focused. Maybe you've tried this once before and maybe it didn't go, maybe it wasn't the right time. Maybe it didn't go exactly how you had planned, or there was something that, you know, just didn't really work out for you. And sometimes with the Four of Cups, we can become a little bit bored or become a little bit afraid that we're going to be missing out on new opportunities. If we continue to focus on what hasn't worked and stuff like that, that is more of like, I don't know. It's like you feel like it's time to shake things up. Maybe again, why you were being pulled to do something pretty extreme in the moment, or others at least would be looking into your life and saying, don't you think that's a little crazy right now? Or, you know, I don't know why I'm hearing with the financial situation, it's a little bit wild to be going and doing that, or, you know, I don't know what it is exactly. If you feel like sharing, please drop it in the comments, because what it is something big for you. It's a big shift, a big change, and maybe you have been feeling a little bit bored and discontented with what has been going on, especially if you are coming out of this darkness. You're a little bit over having to look at the past and having to learn the lessons and gain the wisdom. You just need some kind of shake up in your life. So you can you can resonate to that energy and in a few different ways with the Four of Cups. But the advice overall is you don't really want to miss a new opportunity because of maybe other people saying that it might not work out, or maybe it's not a good time, or because of maybe losing something in the past. Okay, I'm just going to leave it at that because I don't want to repeat myself 100 times. Your actual, or what you expect, okay, what you expect, what you don't expect is coming next. What you expect here is the Emperor is in this position of what you expect. So you do expect, I like that you have very high hopes for yourself. I know, again, you've gained so much wisdom. You know that you're capable. You know that you're the one in control, in the sense of like you have a strategy, you have a plan. Some of you may be breaking out and becoming your own boss, or like starting your own company, or doing something that you are creating, and just breaking free, breaking out of a traditional type of 9 to 5 perhaps. And just kind of taking the reins of your own career, of your own life. It's really getting your shit together energy, okay? And you expect that to happen. You expect success for yourself. So I like that positive outlook that you have for the day, even though, again, we do have a little bit of fear. We do have a little bit of, you know, extreme energy, but it's a positive thing. Like you're not taking a leap and without any faith. Like, you know, you're gonna land, you know, you're gonna bounce back, you know, it's gonna work out. And you have this like unwavering, I can't, maybe unwavering is not the best word because everybody's human and we still have some of these fears, but I do see that you have absolutely got this. You've got a good strategy. You know it. You know it's going to work. And yeah, I mean, it's a major arcana energy. So whether or not, you know, you let other people and their opinions come in and, you know, shake you, or allow any kind of fear to creep in today, it's nothing that we can't really change here. With the Emperor showing up and what you expect things to work out, and it does see that you are correct. Oh my, hold on. Sorry about that, y'all. My upstairs neighbor was vacuuming around the entrance to it. Like there's like a shared entrance and the dog just freaked out. Anyways, back to normal. What was I saying? Okay, so we have you knowing that everything's going to work out. Everything's going to be okay. Yes. We also have, for what you don't expect, we have the strength energy. So, it's interesting for what you don't expect. You don't expect to be tempted, I feel like, because whenever we see strength, we know at some point the devil was around. And the devil really does represent perhaps some of those fears, perhaps some of those things that we do over and over again that we know aren't good for us. So you don't expect to have to tap into your strength of will to have to maybe fight so hard, okay, for what it is that you desire, what it is that you want, because normally I do feel like, you know, you're in this mode of surrender, but you're still having to pursue and take action towards something that you want to create. And so, you know, being kind and compassionate towards yourself as you experience these temptations, as you hold yourself back from maybe going around another cycle with someone or something, or, you know, it reminds me of like, okay, it's like, yeah, it's just a general temptation. I don't want to get into a huge long example about anything, but it reminds me of like, let's say you're addicted to something. Maybe it's, I don't know, whatever it is. I don't know. I don't want to like single anyone out for anything, but we can be addicted to so many different things. Maybe it's social media. You're addicted to social media. You didn't realize, you didn't expect to have to really tap into that strength of will to remind yourself, okay, no, I'm not going to start scrolling. I'm not going to, you know, allow myself to be distracted. I'm not going to, you know, you might have to set some reminders for yourself, or, you know, you might have to put up Post-it notes, or you might have to, you know, hide your phone or something like that. You'll have to continuously, consciously, check yourself, but at the same time, you're not going to beat yourself up for having these temptations, for having to tap into your strength. You know, you're not going to expect yourself. It's interesting because it is kind of like this back and forth energy I'm picking up. It's like, you know, you're going to succeed in what this is. You know, you've got this, but then you're like pulled into maybe a different way of thinking or some kind of temptation, and you don't realize how strong you are and how much you're going to have to rely on your own strength of will to get yourself to get yourself through it, or to, you know, work yourself up. Maybe it's having to do with some kind of fear or some kind of block. Maybe something, you know, that didn't really work out the last time, you know, that kind of an energy. You're like, well, you know, you have to continuously remind yourself that you've got this. And I feel like you didn't really expect to have to do that. Like the fear is going to creep in a little bit more than you had expected. But I like the strength here for what you don't expect, because you are going to prove to yourself that you are strong enough, and you didn't really expect, you just didn't, yeah, I don't know. It's like you know you're strong, but you also didn't expect to have to maybe continuously remind yourself, but then you're going to surprise yourself at your strength. And so it's kind of like this, like, I don't want to call it a roller coaster, but you're just, I don't know. It feels like it's something, I don't want to call it something so simple as like learning how to ride a bike. Okay. It's something that you know you can do because you've done it before, but maybe it's been like a freaking decade or something. And so you feel like, oh, do I have this? And you might have to, like, maybe you get on and you're a little bit wobbly. You're like, oh crap, I'm going to fall. Like, and you're going to have to like keep pushing, remind yourself, okay, stare straight. Don't look down. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's something like that. You're going to have to talk yourself through it, or remind yourself that you've got this. Okay. So being kind and compassionate, don't beat yourself up. It's been a decade since you've been on a bike or something like that. And that was such a random example, but that's the kind of energy, and that's what Spirit showed me. So it is what it is. At the end of the day here, you know, your advice is just, you know, keep going, keep pushing, because you really do have this. You are going to be successful, and something that you do is going to put you in the spotlight. Okay. Not saying saying that that's what you're after, but some people are going to recognize you for your efforts and your abilities, and you really are going to wow others with your accomplishments. I feel like people are going to be very happy for you. People are going to want a lot of your attention, and people are going to be putting a lot of attention on you for this next chapter, this next phase, this next project, whatever it is that you're thinking of in this reading, of course. Now, the outgoing vibe is the World, which just, again, lets me know that you know exactly what this is. You know you can do it. You're going to be rewarded heavily. You know, you're going to be very successful in this. And I mean, of course, success is relative. So relative to what it is that you're trying to accomplish, what it is you're fighting for, you're going to get it. You're going to get it, okay? Because whatever this is meant for you. This is part of your destiny. You are fated. It is yours. It is already done. So mote it be, you know? It's that kind of a vibe. So it's interesting because, you know, you've got it in the bag and you've got the right attitude. But maybe there's something here that you're just a little bit scared of, or a little bit, you know, shy, or a little bit something, you know, it's not going to hold you back, but it's still there and it wants to be acknowledged, this feeling of a little bit of, again, apprehension or something. But you don't really need to worry about it, but you're going to definitely have to remind yourself throughout the day, because there's a lot of major arcana energy here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anything more than 2 in a reading is something to really pay attention to. It tells me that you're at a very important juncture in your life, where you are going through a major shift, and the stars are aligning for you in what it is that you desire and what it is you've been working on. So it looks to me like the universe has your back, okay? And there is really nothing to worry about, but of course, you'll have to remind yourself of that continuously. So throughout this process, like, it's going to be something that comes out a lot, I feel like, as we're shifting, as the energy shifts, and you just, you know, I don't know, I'm really like here for this change. I'm really here for this change. And I'm just leaving it at general. I'm not going to apply it to love. I'm not going to apply it to anything else. It's open, right? The only thing I do accredit to a love situation is what brought you to this point. Okay, because there was a soulmate, right? And soulmates are here for a reason, season, lifetime. Maybe you call them a twin flame. It doesn't really matter the label that you put on it. It was a very intense soul connection, soul contract you had with somebody that was going to do something. And usually it's something kind of shitty. I'm not going to lie. It's something intense. Either it's intensely positive, intensely negative. It's intense. It's extreme. Okay. And that is what drives us to transmute energy. It maybe puts us in a dark space, and from that dark space we re-emerge as reborn, re-energized, rebirthed, okay, transformed because of a situation. So we can go ahead and, no matter what, without diving into details, whatever it was in the past, we can forgive, release, and we can say thank you and be grateful for at least getting us to this point where we're at now. We're feeling good, we're feeling fresh, we're feeling ready to go, and we're feeling like we can do something here, okay? And it's going to work out for your greatest and highest good. So also with the Six of Cups energy, this could be something that you feel like you've been put here on the planet to do. It's very deep for that, like, destiny, fate, calling. This is the kind of vibe here. Oh, my dog's starting again. I think he's getting freaked out because my neighbor's vacuuming. So I'm going to try to get through the rest of this reading. Let me get a message here from the universe. He's feeling a little scared. He's still a pup. He's like 6 months old. But yeah. Okay, let me get your message from the universe. More surrender. I surrender to a power greater than me. Okay, you're doing it. You know you are on track here with something that you do feel very much called to do. When I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. And that's part of the message here already. One more, and then we'll get Goddess guidance. There's nothing sexier than my authentic truth. So whatever this is, you are living your authentic truth. The bottom of the deck. I am the dreamer of my dream. Absolutely, you're the dreamer of your dream. And this is what it is. It's something that maybe you have dreamt of doing since you were young, or it's something that your soul longs to do, okay? I'll get goddess guidance for you, and then I'll get your affirmations, and then I'll tell you something really funny that happened over the weekend. I did mention, oh, we have true love. I'll read that in a second. I'll get a couple more. I did mention about, following me over on the other socials, and I've got stuff in the works, like, kind of like trying to teach people the meaning of each card and associating it with affirmations. And I've got a bunch of stuff going on that's like loaded up for my socials, right? And so I've been pouring a lot of extra time into creating content for my socials. So this weekend, randomly, I was having a fire in the backyard with my son, and I decided I would put on this 15-second clip on TikTok of me roasting a pierogi over the fire. And it makes me feel like I don't understand the internet at all, but it went flipping viral. I'm like, man, I've been trying to, like, create a space over on TikTok, like, and it's been slow going, but I've been still putting in the work, and the 15 freaking second clip of me roasting a pierogi has, like, the last time I checked, it had like 300,000 views. And I'm like, are you freaking serious? Everything else I do, like readings, little 3-card pulls, like I'm doing other things over there as well, and it's like, 200, 300 views, nothing but a freaking pierogi, and we're viral. So that was the funny thing that happened. But anyways, let me just read your messages. We have true love. The romantic stirrings in your heart have propelled the universe to deliver great love to you. So maybe this is part of your journey. Maybe this is about a relationship. Maybe this is you coming together with a soulmate or a partner or someone new. Maybe someone you have already had some dealings with. So no wonder why there would be fear creeping in, right? So, I'm going to leave it at that. Then we have Austera, fertility, which is the moment we're in right now, the springtime energy. It is that Easter vibe we're coming off of. So it's the perfect time for you to start new projects, access new ideas, and give birth to new conditions. And then we have Guardian. Oops, Artemis here. You and your loved ones are safe and spiritually protected. So you already know that. Go ahead and jump off that cliff. Yeah, not literally, unless you are hooked to a freaking, like, parachute or a freaking bungee cord, okay? And at the bottom of the deck, we have Freya, we have bold, unleash your adventurous side, okay? Take risks, be daring, you're doing that. And then we have your affirmation to end this reading. It says, loving others is easy when I love and accept myself. Awesome. You are doing that. You are living your authentic truth, and you've got this. My heart is open. I allow my love to flow freely. I love myself, I love others, and others love me. That is so beautiful. I love myself, I love others, and others love me. And speaking of love, I am sending love to you all. Thank you again for being here. If you're new and you like my vibe, all you gotta do is subscribe to become part of our tribe. Our tribe is amazing. And we have people from all over the world who are here to hang out with us, and it's just so cool to connect with each and every one of you. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope to see you over on my socials. I can't believe the freaking pierogi video. I'm like a pierogi master over there now. And I don't know what to do next. I really don't know. Should I focus on like camping, pierogies, or like tarot? What's going on? Because I don't know what's happening, and I don't get it, and it makes me feel like a boomer, but that's okay. Anyways, y'all, sending lots of love. I'm elder millennial, by the way, just so you know. But yeah, sending you lots of love, and I hope to read for you again. Take care.